Hey, welcome back. Now joining us this morning are Roan Reed and Linda Hammerbrown, two of the docents that bring historic Jacksonville to life. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So for someone who hasn't experienced what you guys are a part of, can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, the Beekman House is a home that was built in 1873. It's there in Jacksonville. Belonged to probably the wealthiest family in the area. And everything in the house is actually Beekman property. It's never been anything other than the family home, and people come and there's a costumed docent in each one of the rooms, or sometimes two rooms, and they just tell about the things that are there and what daily life was like in that time period.
And it's run by Historic Jacksonville, and we actually got it from the college U of O. A long time ago, but we restored it and turned it into a place where people can go to learn more about Jacksonville history.
Amazing. So you guys say you are a docent. So what is a docent and how did you guys get into it?
Well, a docent is a person with a head full of knowledge about whatever area he or she is telling about. For instance, I really like the parlor in the Jacksonville home, the Beekman's home. And so I tell a lot about the things that are in there, what life would have been like. The parlor is a very special room in a Victorian home. It's only used on special occasions, and so I like to talk about that. And then the kitchen's another one that's really interesting too, because of the different things that are in there that are no longer used in our modern days.
Yeah, and I got into the Beekman House. I was actually just taking the tour with my sister, and at the end we were asking so many questions that somebody involved, her name's Sherry, she's a super nice lady, and she was like, hey, would you guys be interested in volunteering here? So of course we were like, yes, that would be amazing. And we just started volunteering at the Beekman House. I think that was a handful of years ago, but it's been a blast ever since. Yep.
I love how both of you talk about your fascination with this history. So what do both of you find most fascinating about Jacksonville's history?
Well, what I really love is it's such a stark contrast from what we experience on our day-to-day lives. Like in those times, people went to fancy dress balls, and that was just a regular occasion. It was like your own little Grammys or like Met Gala or something. And I just love how it was, their norm was so different from our norm that we have today.
I'm most fascinated, I think, with the fashions and the lifestyle and the progress that women were making.
So what do you think that someone in those times would find most surprising about today?
Oh, technology.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, they had to wait how long to just send a letter to someone, or even with telegrams, like you had to know an entirely different language more than just like LOL or IDK, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so what would a typical day be like for someone 125 years ago, since you guys embody that?
Well, certainly for women it would be much different. If you were a middle class or upper class woman, very likely you would not have any sort of out of the house employment. You would be the lady of the house. You would be supervising staff if you had them, or supervising things for your family. You would do things like you would make a social call. You didn't call someone on the phone. You went to see that person, and you had certain days when you would receive visitors. That was called your at-home day. You might go to a tea, or you would have someone come to your home for social calls. And if the person didn't want to receive you, you could leave your calling card there. And there were certain ways you could leave your calling card. If you were going to make a certain call, you would fold down the corner to let them know that you were just making a condolence call.
Mm-hmm. Wow, such social intricacies
Oh
that
my
you can
goodness,
hardly
yes.
believe were just around here so many years ago, right?
Yep.
Yes, I know, it's unbelievable. Something I also really like is Carrie Beekman, the oldest daughter of the Beekmans. She even had her own little book club with like Peter Britt's daughter and stuff. So just like really cool. They had just these fun little things that I wish we could bring back.
Absolutely, and also just to see how it connects the local history, you know, like the Brit Festival and everything like that. Now all of it's coming into fruition here, and we can see the results of it down the line in our current day history. Well, you guys, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about before we have to say goodbye to you this morning?
Well, just be sure you come and get a chance to see all these wonderful things in the Beekman House.
Yes, come visit us.
Absolutely. I can't wait to visit you guys. So as they said, you can learn what life was like 125 years ago in historic Jacksonville at the C.C. Beekman House. 30-minute tours will be available this Saturday, the 22nd, as well as on March 15th and April 19th. For more information on tours and everything else Historic Jacksonville is working on at historicjacksonville.org. Ladies, thank you again so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, it was
Thank
our
you so
pleasure.
much for having us.
Of course. We'll be right back.